enter their divine nectar so easily. In all likelihood, they had to be switched on from inside the store. A milkman had to drive by every week to fill the bottles. The fresh milk indicated a recent visit. Something fell to the bottom of the box. Carl had no trouble recognizing his employer. He had been killed. There was no need to be a detective to figure that out. But only a detective could have noticed that the killer had to have been very close, that the fatal blow had been given before the victim even realized. What could be inside that envelope? Carl was taken aback. He knew this address. It was said to be the address of the P.O. box for the Canadian Secret Service. The note explained that the garage and the store couldn't be supplied with electricity at the same time. Maintaining his composure, Carl recalled something from his military training. Wolves always stay away from populated areas. Wait, was it about bears? Carl knew that Gilles Lachance was in charge of the general store. That made him one of Hamilton's employees. A very angry employee, as Carl could plainly see. According to that log, it seemed like the whole village owed some money to the general store. Carl was far more interested in the bunch of nearby addresses he had just gotten his hands on, though. The snowstorm pummeled everything in its path. Carl was not surprised when he heard no tone. Carl was no electrician, but he could identify a wiring problem when he saw one. Carl was no electrician, but he could identify a wiring problem when he saw one. Carl was used to strange phenomena, but a chunk of ice like this, as if an iceberg came out of the ground, that was a first. prints? Carl found a surprise at every turn. Was the camera faulty, or was it a possible lead? A milkman had to drive by every week to fill the bottle. The fresh milk indicated a recent visit. Carl felt a chill down his spine and had a terrifying realization. If Hamilton was dead, then who was going to pay him? Surrender their divine nectar so easily. In all likelihood, they had to be switched on from inside the store. straight away where to find the infuriated Gilles Lachance. Any good investigation would have to start there. Felt that the store and its surroundings still held their secrets, and he didn't like to miss out. In spite of Dr. Beaupré's goodwill, the place didn't look much like a physician's office. It could easily be mistaken for a sewing shop. There should be a law forbidding doctors from falling sick. The injured could be recognized by the large stains of red, an informal nickname given to Merbromen, smudged all over their injuries. The good doctor, flanked by his beautiful spouse. Pure happiness, captured on cardstock. Carl recognized this woman's soulful eyes. Was it Dr. Beaupré who had hit him head-on at the village border? A communist manifesto. Only a few years ago, this type of allegiance meant prison time. And even at present, the Western world was very wary of the Soviet threat. Why would the doctor own such a book? A chamber pot. Fortunately for Carl, inspecting it wouldn't further this particular investigation. Someone had lost a few liters of blood here. Carl's first thought had been a lumber accident, someone's hand cut by a saw, or a hunting accident. In any case, whoever had lost all this blood couldn't have gone far. Perhaps they were already dead. Carl got the trembles as he imagined the excruciating pain that kind of scalpel could no doubt inflict. Within these miserable walls, patients probably felt more like in a slaughterhouse than in a doctor's office. For the one-eyed, or for other vision problems, the eye patch was the way to go. Great care had to be taken searching this place full of oddities. Everything was important. The decor itself told a story. It was a typical shack, just like the ones you hear about in Quebecois legends. Local lumberjacks used it to rest and twice a day heat up their pea soup. Who quits a game one step away from victory? Someone had been playing with a crossbow here. A very dangerous game. A bolt could hit someone's tire or their eye. It could even kill someone if the aim was right. Without a single window to brighten things up, the inside of the cabin was almost pitch black. Beware of close encounters of knee and furniture. Solitaire, a card game only hermits can truly enjoy. Carl felt depressed at the thought of playing this. The track was fresh. That meant the car sunk down just a little while ago. Now where the hell could the passengers possibly have gone? The crossbow bolts had the same origin. Carl was sure of it. Who was it? And more importantly, what was being hunted like this? Someone must have dropped this in a hurry, but whoever did was heading into the woods. Carl's tracking instincts were quickly kicking in. Carl felt engulfed by a wave of cold, and for a second thought he was fainting. All of a sudden, 4 phantasmagoric figures were fixing their gaze on him. What the hell was going on? Carl sensed that the cold was beating a retreat, as if he was moving away from some kind of center of gravity. Carl knew why he was suddenly shivering. He was going back to the realm of visions. Numbness was giving way to awareness. The vision was wavering. There was only void where the road should be. Carl hated dead ends. He felt trapped.